Hi everyone. We're going to talk about output. A little bit about output devices. And so we might enter a few things that you hadn't talked about before. You know, some people might take it for granted, but displays are a crucial role of any device. You know, one of the key things that Apple has always bragged about is the quality of the display on their devices. And depending on, the kind of work you do and the clarity that you need on the display is really crucial, not only for you being able to do the work, but also so that the strain on your eyes is not too great. We have, here we talk about pixels. Those are picture elements, the dots that make up the screen. That's a 0. And then resolution is how many dots down and across do you use to make the picture. And of course, the resolution, the higher, the better. Screen size, typically measured diagonally. And then what kind of graphics capabilities. If you're doing certain type of work, there might be certain things that would tie the monitor to the or the display to the graphics card and so forth. So this is what you would look at for displays. Now, a couple key things. Nowadays, a lot of people will have, multiple displays. They'll have, I've heard programmers having up to 6, 3 across and 3 up above. Really, 6 displays, and they can split what they're doing up between the displays. So some people have multiple displays. The another key thing nowadays is touch screens. You can spend anywhere from maybe a couple $100 to $300 on a touch screen display, all the way up to one that is sensitive to a particular pin, in which you might spend $3,000 for. But the touch screen is extremely popular because of the people who want to touch it, or like I'm doing right now, I'm creating these videos using just an iPad and I'm touching the screen. So a lot of software now, Windows 10 and even Windows 8 and of course all the a lot of other products allow you to navigate on the screen. So being able to touch the screen, not only use that instead of navigating with a mouse or some other device. Printers. Laser printers, typically a little more expensive, and you can get those at a very high quality. And nowadays you can get them color, black or white. They have a drum in there, and then the laser puts the image on the drum, and then it runs the paper by the drum, puts the image on the paper. And then heat is involved with that. But they have gotten it very high quality. They may cost a little more. An inkjet printer, also now, you can get pretty good quality out of an inkjet printer. Way less on cost. And what it does is it actually sprays the ink right on the paper. As the paper goes by, it sprays that image right on there. Even though they cost less, you have to be careful when dealing with, which do you buy. If you're going to print a lot, a laser printer per page could be way cheaper. Okay, this technique here with the laser could be way cheaper per page. So if you have a high volume of printing, which people shouldn't have nowadays, but a fairly high volume of printing, you really want to look in that, because an inkjet, the part that gets to be expensive are the cartridges. And you start printing a lot with an inkjet, then the cost of the cartridges, you would have been better to spend more money up front for the laser. Okay? And then, if you know you're only going to print black and white, you can get a fairly decent laser printer, black and white, a really good quality for not a real high cost. And then the price or quality would determine part of that too. Plotters, like somebody has where they have where they need to lay out like blueprints, have all that information on a large piece of paper. Plotters can print right on a page, move the head around, or there's some real fancy ones, a printer that can take, really wide paper and actually take it off a spool. So you could, make a banner 20 feet long with the printer, and they have some laser printers that will lay that image out on that paper. So the concept of a plotter or these printers that would be used by architects to create blueprints, or they have printers for creating banners now, or large things that you can wrap on a car wraps, or big logos to go on things and so forth. And then the last thing is sounds really cool nowadays are 3D printers. We're not going to mention much about them here, but 3D printers literally can print a particular tool. They can print maybe a canister to hold something. They can print parts for equipment, and what they do is they just, based on the program, they just build up, and they can build that three-dimensional thing, whatever you might be making. They're really pretty cool, and the prices vary. Obviously, it's quality and what kind of material you're going to use to print those, but they're going to have a large impact on how we manufacture certain kinds of parts and things in the future. Audio output, depending on the quality you want. Speakers, headphones are extremely popular. They make really a wide range of really good headphones to put on your device, and if you're listening to music or you're just listening to, like me, I listen to podcasts and so forth. Okay, and then you can list some new technology that you might be aware of beyond what we mentioned here.